Hello. Take a look at what we got going on at the 8 o'clock Tomato Talk Farms garden tour. By the way, mid-40s for wind chill factor. Dingy, cold, drippy, rainy, spitting for days and days. Not putting tomatoes out yet. This will be the last tour before tomatoes go in. Inside, ruined the first pepper crop by letting it dry out in the sun. Had to start them fresh. Jalapenos are making a comeback. Here we got herbs. Basil. Lemon balm, looking good. A little bit of parsley. Let's go outside. These sullen tomatoes are sulking in the corner. What's going on? It's zone 6B. Are you going to put me out? This guy's bent over. It's still raining a little bit out here. I hope I don't ruin my phone. There they are. All kinds of them sitting up in the windshield, the window. I've got marigolds getting ready to go out. So this whole area right here, guys, is just plants waiting to go out, mostly tomatoes. Let's take a look at the wall garden. We are so thrilled about this wall garden. Whoa, guys, you want to see something crazy? Look in the lawn. Oh my gosh, I might have to transplant that. Cilantro, it set seed up on the wall garden last year and spread the seed into the lawn. Oh my goodness. Talk about foraging. Wall garden. Ta-da! Oh man, super epic. Let's take a look. We took these stones the former owner left behind and just added to the existing wall garden already. Made it taller. Made not one giant bed, but a giant bed and a little smaller bed over here. Don't you love this? Look at that. Oh my goodness, I've got it draped. We don't have the cabbage moths yet, but I got birds trying to eat the cabbage. Get away. Go out in the woods and eat something. Looking good. Volunteer tomatoes springing up right and left. The only tomatoes we have in the garden so far are the volunteers. More over here. Oh my gosh, look at that one. I might have to leave that. I gotta do some weeding here. So we have nothing in this other bed except volunteer tomatoes, but in the big one here, cabbage, onions, a little bit of lettuce, and here's a cool case study. Check it out. You know where lettuce came from? This plant here. Wild lettuce. It's growing, it just popped up here as a weed. Here's domesticated lettuce, Paris Island romaine. So, if I were to take a bite of this, wild lettuce. It has medicinal properties. By the way, it's a natural painkiller. Our forefathers used it. Ooh, very bitter. If I take a bite of this though, this is Paris Island romaine. Isn't that strange how it grew volunteer there, that weed, obviously. I planted this. Sweet and tender. Let's keep moving. Volunteer tomatoes. 3 of them in grow bags. Thanks, Clayton. So moving up the steps we put in. Oh, we just love this. All these steps are made with the same kind of blocks that they left us a whole pallet of them. A volunteer brassica. I don't know what it is, but we've been eating on it. Tater, potato, tater. All these are taters in grow bags, guys. Trying the grow bags out this year. Now we're moving up this last set of steps. We got 3 tiers here. So the cabbage down here looks really good, really good. Not great here, but not too shabby. Not bad, huh? 3 bins or troughs. Got these on clearance at Home Depot. That's a forest. I think that's a jack in the pulpit. I got a lot of this dirt from the woods, and look what came in, a jack in the pulpit. So cool. Got to do some weeding here. This is either going to be potatoes or bush beans. I'm sorry, tomatoes or bush beans, tomatoes or bush beans, and tomatoes and or lettuce. And look at the volunteers. I don't know where to keep some of these guys. I mean, you can see I've got the tomatoes down there I showed you at the beginning. I got to get room for those too. We're going to see. I might leave some of these, but that's all Paris Island lettuce. mystery tomato and some weeding I need to do here. So we're heading back down now. It's a little slippery. It's been wet, wet, wet. My wife and I were able to garden in the front yard part of the property yesterday. But I kid you not, it's so wet and soggy. I just took the day to just do some filming and give you a recap. This is the last video tour before tomatoes go in. And look at this. Oh, we were so thrilled. We had a smattering of beans and whatnot into a few tomatoes last year, but we loaded this thing up. We utilized this space big time. This was all miniature rose bushes. We took them out and put them up front. It had a bunch of evergreens. We pulled them and just got rid of them. And we're turning this into a food terrace right here. Crazy. Moving over here. You probably saw the fig over there. Looking pretty good in that pot. It's been in that pot for 3 years. Here's figs we did in ground, and they're popping up like crazy. We had leaf silos over them with shredded leaves stuffed in a tomato cage, if you will, I guess, made out of wire to protect them during the winter. I just popped them off and unveiled them. The unveiling of the figs growing in the sea of salvia. This stuff is nuts. But the figs are holding their own. South-facing wall right here. Let's go to the pie garden. Last year, 2 rows of tomatoes in here. This year, I'm going to run a few tomatoes along the edge, and we replaced the tomatoes with onions. Look at all those weeds indicating where I planted. Wow, that's what happens when you unearth this mulch. This is the 3rd year with the wood mulch, and I'm telling you guys, it's making a difference. It's starting to break down, and the soil underneath there is just beautiful, beautiful. Like, I mean, look at how that's starting to break down, becoming dirt. Oh, so thrilling to see. The worms, everything loves it. We're going to put a few things down here, I haven't decided yet, and then along the trellis, along with this grapevine, we're going to just load it up with cukes, anything that vines. Chinese long beans, awesome. They're in the black-eyed pea family. And over here, look guys, oh, look at that. These come up wild from the former owner. We just encourage them. These are bachelor's buttons, great for pollinators. Leaving the fleabane right there. Those irises are obviously cultivated, but we love any of this kind of stuff. Wildflowers like this though. Tater, tater, tater. Go around to the other side here. So this is our tater patch. Hugelkultur, just like I normally do, rotting logs on the bottom, even bordered this with rotting logs along the edge here. And so the rotting logs, well, first of all, cardboard, then rotting logs and twigs and branches, and then leaves shredded up, and then we put rough compost on the top, planted taters right in top, and then put a mulch layer of shredded leaves on top of that. And we'll just keep adding and adding. There's 2 kinds of potatoes, just like there's 2 kinds of tomatoes. Determinate, a determined size, 3 to 4 feet or whatever, not in the potatoes case, but a tomatoes case. Indeterminate, grows and grows and grows. These are indeterminate, that's why I put them in there. The ones in the grow bag over yonder are determinates. They'll set one type of fruit, one cluster of fruit, if you will, one of potatoes all at once. These will make potatoes all along their stem if I keep burying them up and up and up. That's why I put them in there. Potato patch. So there we go. That's that little section there. Now we have what I think of as the main section of the garden. Look at these pots. 4-season lettuce, cilantro, a volunteer tomato that hijacked a pot and lived in it next to this oregano all winter long. It deserves to set fruit. There it is, growing like crazy. Carrots, but this side, all tomatoes. Interplanting of 4 seasons lettuce and some onions, sweet white Spanish onions. Either side, tomatoes. So tomatoes, not going to be loaded up like crazy like last year. I had every one of these beds, save that one, loaded with tomatoes. We're going to spread the tomatoes around a little bit, but this side is going to be tomatoes. Both sides flanking the onions, tomatoes. Pots, Greek oregano, that's where that tomato plant was living. Now it's got its own pot. More 4 seasons mixed with romaine and tomato. A little bit more later planting of Four Seasons lettuce. Here we have beets. Beets, you can't beat the beets. Beat it. Beat it, man. Carrots. So we've got a smattering of Danvers half long, red cord Chantenay, scarlet Nantes. These are seeds I saved. I'm not sure. I think a couple different varieties pollinated because I've grown several varieties for years. So those might be interpollinated, but they still will make good carrots, I believe. By the way, don't plant your carrots anywhere near cow parsley, Queen Anne's lace, or anything like that. They'll cross-pollinate if you're going to save seed. And if you save that seed from the next year, it'll make something funky and weird. Moving over here, 3 pots, either going to have peppers or tomatoes. Over here, we're going to have peppers on either side, but right now we've got carrots interplanted with a little bit of Four Seasons in the middle. That's plantain. Edible, but I didn't plant that, it just grew. So yeah, peppers in this one. And look at this bed. Oh my goodness. Is that not beautiful? Four Seasons lettuce flanked by cherry bell. Actually, that's Saxatu radish. Saxatu radish. Four Seasons lettuce in the middle. Beautiful. The survivors of my failed garlic overwintering. Guys, in zone 6B, don't start your garlic in the fall too early. I started it in September. I should have started it in late October, maybe even November. The greens got too big before they died back, which you're supposed to, but the energy was lost from in the bulb and they just rotted in the ground. 2 out of like 40 plants. Oh well, that's going to be for next year's seeds. More onions here. Just a smattering, sweet white Spanish, Walla Walla. Look at that volunteer carrot. You may grow right there. And this is all going to be tomatoes. So there we go. There's that section. Raised bed. Not solid tomatoes this year. This was 5 out of 6 of these raised beds was solid tomatoes. This year, this is the only one that's going to be solid tomatoes, and then we're going to just spread them around. I'm doing the permaculture interplanting thing. Try to get different roots from different plants in the same section to create a symbiotic relationship under the ground. There's a whole world of stuff going on under the ground, guys. You don't know about, but you should. I'm learning more about it each day. This had a smattering of watermelon and okra. This year we're going to really, on purpose, we're going to plan out a twice as large a section. Even this is even bigger over here, so 2.5 times the amount of space for watermelon, okra, and maybe some pumpkin. So there we go. I've got lots of sand on the property that somebody left behind. So there we have it. That's what's going on. We got it going. Hey, dogs. Garth and Winnie terrorizing, keeping the voles and whatnot down to a minimum. And there we have it. I'm going to plant into this hollow log this year, probably a tomato plant, because that's what we're all about here. And we're going to see how that goes. So guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Look at the stately rows of new carrots and interplanting of the Four Seasons and onions, dog drinking out of a container. We just love it. Bring the outside in, guys. Let your wildflowers grow around your potatoes and everything. Have fun with it. Make a friend with nature. Just make a friend with it. Talk to you later. We're loving it. We're loving the wall garden back there way down yonder. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for joining the tour of the 8 o'clock Tomato Talk farm. Lovely spring wet day. Let's grow some stuff.